all of us will go around and answer questions of regards to our own marketing and branding. So we're getting used to it. We're getting to know each other. And then we can also, throw out any questions that we have about what we're talking about. Okay. So who wants to begin? We had George. Who wants to go next with the introduction?
I'll jump in. DeAnne Connolly Graham. I am the chair of the Women's Business Council here at the Chamber. And we have an event next Tuesday. So ladies, please join us next Tuesday for our Women's Business Council meeting. I also work with the charter agency. George, you do not have to buy a bunch of yachts and fishing vessels or exotic cars or private jets, because I have all of that at my disposal for you. So we definitely need to have a one-on-one. The charter agency has top quality yachts and, as I say, exotic cars and jets that are available for corporate accounts, for hotels, and we have amazing, amazing customer service. Thank you.
Great. Already connections are being made. Who wants to go next? George, the other George?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everybody. My name is George Acosta.
Oh, we can't really hear you.
You.
Oh.
Can you hear me now?
Put your volume up.
You are not talking to me, correct?
No, George Acosta.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Okay. Not sure why. I'm off mute, right?
No, we're not hearing you at all, George.
We can't hear you.
Well, he works on that. Why don't you?
Yeah, we'll let you figure it out. Okay, who wants to go to next? Jenny?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Jenny. I am one of Morel's agents. I'm also the productivity coach at the Keller Williams Miami Beach office. So I help agents basically get their business on track, create their business plan, and get into production right away. And I'm also in production myself.
Mary, do you want to go? Oh, we can't hear you. You're muted.
Hi, I'm Mary Feldman. I'm the Development and Tourism Coordinator at Miami Beach Chamber of Commerce.
Morel?
Good morning. My name is Morel Linlow. I am the team leader and Executive Vice President of Operations at Keller Williams Realty here at Miami Beach. And my job is to help bring agents in that need powerful technology tools, coaching, and training, and to make them successful in their real estate career. So I'm always looking to meet new agents. I'm also the chair of the Real Estate Council at the Chamber, and I sit on the board of governors for the Chamber.
Can we mute ourselves a little bit when we're not talking? Because I hear a little bit of background. Omer.
Good morning. My name is Omer Barsadeh, and I am the founder and CEO of Vision Movies, which is a video production company that works with small, medium, and large-scale businesses, helping them with branding and video needs with the power of videos.
Thank you. Jerry.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. I'm now in my 11th year as the president and CEO of the Chamber of Commerce. It's been a terrific experience. I've really enjoyed it. But the thing that I enjoy the most is the relationships that we develop. And that's really the key to your business. It's developing relationships. And from those relationships, business will follow. I want to invite everybody next Wednesday morning. I have every first Wednesday of the month, the Business Roundtable. Please, jot it down. It'd be great if you can participate. It starts at 8:30 in the morning next Wednesday. So I invite you all to participate.
Okay.
Thank you. And there's somebody down there, you're wearing a gray shirt, but I don't know your name. It's not on your. Oh, Joffrey.
Me, right?
Yeah, now I can see your name. Joffrey, okay.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. My name is Jeffrey Shepard. I am the president and CEO of G-Force Funding. We're based here in the beach, and we help businesses get access to working capital. So if business owners need additional money, we essentially assist them with that. So we can do SBA 7A loans. We've been doing some of the PPP stuff as well, but we're kind of transitioning out from that, and also offering unsecured financing, lines of credit. We do secured financing as well.
Okay, great. And we just had Wendy come in. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Hi, we're right now doing just a quick introduction.
Okay. My name is Wendy Rosen, and I'm a realtor with Keller Williams, born and raised in Miami Beach.
Okay, thank you. My name is Arathi Ramappa, and I am an executive coach, and I do corporate coaching. I do individual coaching, helping on business strategy, but also it gets into emotional intelligence and helps you make better decision-making for your business. And then I work with organizations where I help create high-performing teams when it comes to collaboration, conflict management, trust, productivity. Those are the things that I coach teams on, and I like to work with executive teams. And I'm also the council, the co-chair of the Technology Council and the co-chair of the advocacy, the Women's Business Council advocacy, the Women's Business Advocacy Council. So I'm the co-chair of that. And Leslie, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure, absolutely. Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Leslie Reams, Leslie Ann Reams. I am the executive assistant to the CEO, Jerry Libin, and I'm also the liaison for the Health and Wellness Council and now the Technology Council. Good to see everyone.
Great. Okay, as I said, thank you, everybody. As I said, that we're going to just go into an interview. I'm going to interview Omar because he's an expert in marketing and branding. And then after that interview, we will go into some questions that we'll all answer so we get to know each other, but it's also on the topic at hand. So I just want to get really into it. What is, we said it was marketing versus branding. So let's just go dive deep. So Omar, what is the difference between marketing and branding, because everybody gets that kind of messed up.
So I would say that many people know branding as, the colors and the fonts and the logos of the business. But when we're talking about smaller businesses, I think that branding is actually, what is the business all about? What is it that we do? Why we do it? And what do we do that is actually different than other businesses in the same industry? When we're talking about marketing, so I'm going to take one step back and say that branding is one of the most important components when it comes to a business, because that would be if you have a website or a video or any other material that people can learn about your business, that would be what will help them make the decision to work with you. So the branding is actually a very strong image that you or someone else create for yourself and your business that can really convince and help, generate business to you. Marketing, on the other hand, would be, think about it as a business card. So you can create a very powerful business card that will really make an impact. But if you don't hand it out to anyone and nobody sees it, basically there's no use for it. So marketing would be the handing out of the business card to everybody. So we're going to take, it can either be the business card itself or something that will get people to look at the business card. So it can be anything from images, text, videos, whatever it is that we're putting on social media platforms or anywhere else, sending out in an email, creating a YouTube video, whatever it is that will bring people to learn more about us and take a look at our branding and see the message that we have and why it is that we do what we do.
Okay, so you're saying basically, that branding is our message and marketing is how they get our message.
Yeah, I think that, when we're talking about smaller businesses, that's what it is. Later on, when you're talking about bigger enterprises, for example, let's take Volvo. When you think Volvo, you hear their brand line that says safety. So you're associating Volvo, a car, with safety right away. Or when you're thinking about, oh my God, I'm so thirsty. It's a hot summer day. one of the first things that will come to mind would be Coca-Cola. So these are some of the branding methods they used along the way to kind of penetrate and associate different companies or products with specific things that we're having, or issues or dilemmas or whatever we have in our lives. So when we're talking about bigger companies that want to reach bigger audiences, the branding will change and shift a little. So we'll have colors and we'll have different fonts or different logos or any other brand elements. When we're talking about smaller businesses, it's mostly what it is that I do that I make in a very unique way. So for example, if we have 5 family lawyers, all of them pretty much are doing the same thing, but each one of them started their own business because they either worked for someone else and they didn't like the way things were operating, or they had, a vision to create something better or different. Every business has its own heart and soul. The business owner started it for a good reason. And the branding of a business would be a great part of that. What it is that I do that nobody else does, and nobody else does in my way. So once you put that all together into a message, people can see that can become your branding, if you will.
Okay, so when you're thinking about, when you're saying branding is your message and marketing is the way to get your message out there, which one should you be doing first?
So this is a great question, because we get a lot of clients that come to us and say, oh my God, we need a marketing video. Before we even start, we usually stop everybody and ask if they have the branding. The branding would be anything from a landing page, a website, or even a branding video. And why is that? We want to focus, first of all, on the branding, because marketing would bring eyeballs to see and learn more about who we are. Let's take, for example, social media. Social media, we all have this little device called cell phone, and we all scroll up and down whenever we have a moment, and we kind of see images and text and read some comments. We usually don't spend a lot of time unless something gets our attention. If we saw something that either we were looking for before, or something that is introduced to us at that very moment that captures our attention, we'll usually click through to learn more. At that point, once we are engaged, we're going to spend more time. So while the social media and marketing materials should be very catchy, short, and engaging, the branding ones are going to be where the consumer will actually go to research, learn more about the message, understand what makes it so different. So basically, we have to have the branding before we even start marketing who we are and what we are. So we know that if someone gets to learn about us a little more, they'll actually get the materials they're really looking for. Otherwise, it's just going to be a waste of time, effort, and money. So
you're saying that even if we have some really good marketing and they click on it and they go to our website, if our branding and our story on our website isn't great, they're going to leave anyway. So we just wasted all that money on marketing.
Pretty much. Yeah. I mean, you can leave it to luck and maybe you will get some calls or, someone will walk into your store. But in general, even if you don't have very strong marketing, but 1, 2, 3 people did get to your website or your landing page and did get to engage with your message and like you, the conversion rate is going to be much higher than just spending it on marketing, bringing people that will just leave instantly. So the branding would be the most important thing. This is how we start with our clients. And after we have that, we can start based on the message, start cutting it to pieces and start marketing it to either different target audiences or within different budgets or timeframes or all that kind of stuff.
And when you say branding, so we understand marketing, but where should you be spending your money right now?
So I would say, just like I said,
effort into.
Yeah, I would say that branding is one of the most important components in your business. So if people understand who you are, what you do, and why you do it differently, the good chances are that they will choose to work with you other than your competition. So before you start spending money on marketing, or you hire someone to do your social media or anything, I'm not saying it's not important, it's very important. But if you had to make a choice, which one comes first, I would say start with your branding. It will help you actually define who you are, what it is that you do, and why you do it so well, that then you can take it and use it for your marketing purposes. So you can start taking bits and pieces out of it. And if you are working only with women, that can be something that you defined in your message or your branding, and then you can start market it as well to a very targeted audience of women, or it can be any other thing, of course, but it will help you in generating a very strong marketing campaign as well.
Okay, I know we keep talking about branding and we're going to get to marketing, but since it's the most important piece. You mentioned a couple of things, like what should we be thinking about in branding? You've talked about, what makes you different. So when it comes to branding, what should we be, because I know one thing that when we discussed putting this together, you said, the colors and things, everybody thinks that's branding, but really people only remember that once they get to know you and like you, and then they see you, they're going to remember those colors. That's not what pulls them in. So there's much more to branding. So what is that piece? What should we really be thinking about when we're talking about ourselves, our business?
Yeah, even when you look at my logo, so these are colors, and this is something that is becoming kind of recognized around Miami and Miami Beach right now. So people, when they see it, it's memorable and people do understand what it is. But that is just one component. When we're talking about branding, it's all about what the business does. And this is what you should define and refine up to the very small detail, what it is that I do. And there are a few questions you should ask yourself. Who am I? What am I doing as a business, of course? Who am I? What am I doing? Why am I doing what I'm doing? And what do I do differently that nobody else in my industry does the same? These are the 4 most important questions that will define who you are. And I think they can really stand out when someone is comparing your business to others in your industry. Who am I? What am I doing? Why am I doing it? And what do I do that stands out and different than others?
Okay, that's great. Those are 4 great questions. So then so getting on to marketing, right? Tell us a little bit more. We were talking about that it's a teaser. So tell us a little bit more about marketing.
So marketing, especially in this era, is something that becomes very available and very affordable on one end, on the other, very saturated and very hard and competitive. Today, you have a lot of, when we're talking about marketing online, there are, of course, other ways. So let's just talk about marketing in general. Marketing in general is putting your product or service in front of consumers or potential clients' faces and eyes. So it can be anything from online advertising or marketing. It can be, mailing materials. It can be, putting together event and promotion and whatever it is to actually get people to notice you and notice your message. When we're talking about marketing today, most of it goes online because it's very easy, if you will, to reach a very wide audience and spend a very little amount of money and get the attention or exposure of many, and we're talking about hundreds, thousands, dozens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and even millions of people in a very short time, in a very direct way, so you can deliver your message to a very wide audience. There are different ways, and I think it's very challenging today because everybody's doing online marketing, and it becomes very saturated market. So even on your social media, when you scroll up and down, you either see messages of brands that they are creating, or there can be sponsor ads. So there's a lot of competition, and in order for you to get the prospect attention, you really need to stand out. So this is a whole different animal that takes a lot of a lot of practice, trial, testing, seeing what works, what doesn't work. But this is, once you hit it right, it can really generate you a lot of leads and actually help in converting potential clients into real paying clients.
So since you said, we were talking, everybody's talking about, online marketing. I want to get to that, but what other pieces are good for marketing outside of online marketing that people don't necessarily think about?
Yeah, so you can have everything when you walk into a restaurant and you have a little counter and you have a lot of brochures or business cards on it. That would be another way to market. You can mail in materials, with deals. There are different companies that are specializing in putting together a bunch of different deals, either on one sheet that you can, cut off some coupons, or they're just sending, their own materials. They're telemarketing, so you have call centers that will call you. We all hate them, but it's a way that works. So there are different many ways, and there's a very creative way. So some will put, a fundraiser event, to raise money or awareness for something. That would be another way of marketing. So the essence of marketing is actually either bringing new or existing information to whoever is looking, whoever has a problem and is looking for a solution, or on the other way, you have a new solution that nobody knows about and you want to introduce it. So it's either someone is looking for it and they can find you, or you want to introduce something and you put it in front of their faces ahead of time.
Okay, great. And, one thing that, they say with marketing, you've got to figure out your target audience and who that is. So when it comes to what do you see? Some things I see with online marketing, and I've tried to work on myself too, is people having too broad audiences. So what are some of the issues that you see with online marketing, since everybody, is in that realm? What are the mistakes that they're making?
So this is another great question, because many of my clients come to me and say, oh my God, so we're working with, elderlies, we're working with children, and we want to create just one piece that will fit them all. And we never do that, because each target audience, which would be either demographics, age, gender, level of income, whatever it is, we should actually break it down and have a very unique message and solution for each one of them. So if we're talking about elderly, and there are different ways, it's not just creating a different message, but using different tools. So for example, when we're talking about online marketing, we have different platforms that everybody knows of. So we have Facebook and we have Instagram, and lately we have TikTok as well. I don't know if everybody knows, but Facebook would be something for a more mature audience. So 35 years old to 65 years old, and even a little older. Instagram is a little younger. But if your target audience is 16 years old, you have a toy or you have a clothing brand or whatever it is that you're trying to market to a younger audience, you really want to use the right platforms with the right messages, because no one from this audience will be on Facebook. So you really want to create something cool and hip for TikTok, and vice versa. So by identifying who your target audience is, you can really create a very strong message, knowing where you want and going to use it.
One thing that you said that was really, all of it is powerful, but when you were saying you might have different audiences, but you have to create certain messages. Like right now, even I'm doing rebranding my site and redoing the site, but I'm going to have specific messages for individuals and specific messages for corporations. So yes, I might have two different audiences, but that means I need to have two different messages, because right now it's just it's not targeting anybody. And so it's not targeting certain, it's too broad, and it's not targeting people that I want. So I think that's great. So thank you so much for that. I think right now we're at 10:30. Before we get into the questions where we're going to go networking around, does anybody have any questions for Omer?
I think one of the things when it comes to marketing is that we really focus on the needs of the person seeing our message. And I find sometimes, and with networking as well, we tend to focus on us. What's my best presentation? I've been in business so many years. I'm this, I'm that, instead of a message that really caters to the other person. How can my service benefit you? What are your needs? Do you find that that's a challenge when it comes to online, when it comes to even an ad? I don't think anyone uses the newspaper anymore, but do you find that being a challenge when someone does advertising and marketing?
Absolutely, and I think it's an excellent point. So I think that even before, again, we're going to the marketing, I think that in the branding area, we should define what it is that we do that actually provides a customer with a solution. So first of all, what are the customers suffering from? What is the main problem? What is it that we do? And these are the questions exactly that we talked about. What is it that we do that provides the perfect solution in a specific way for that specific customer? And we can have different customers. So we can have, again, different demographics, different level of income or whatever it is, business owners or just, ordinary people. And by that, identifying what exactly the problems that they're suffering from, and what is the solution that we're providing for each one of them. And I think it's an excellent point. Yes, it's never about us. If you do understand what your target audience is experiencing and what solution you provide, that would be the match point. That would be where they're going to get to do business with you.
Okay, great. Great question, because I just realized when you said that, DeAnne, that I just talked about what I do, and I've been trying to change that and talk about the pain points. And so I need to do that in my introductions. Okay, so
real quick, if you don't mind, because I liked what you said about your marketing way too broad. One of the things when I used to train people in BNI that we always talked about is be specific to be terrific. And sometimes that's really hard for us. Okay, so let's say you're a realtor. You can help anyone, right? I can help anyone that's looking to buy or sell a home. But if you continually say, I can help anyone and everyone, you're not targeting and focusing in on a certain group. Pick your focus. Doesn't mean you can't take the other business, of course. But the more specific you target to people, the better the results are going to be. And you're going to get what you want. If you specifically ask for these kind of people, it doesn't mean I can't help these people over here. But if I ask for what I want, then the referrals that I get too and the leads that I get are going to be more likely to be the people that I want.
Yeah, I totally agree. And that's what I've been learning, because I've been learning a lot about marketing in the past year. And I am like really, right now, like I said, I'm in the process of rewriting all my copy. So it is very specifically targeted to certain type of stakeholders, that I would want to meet in a company, but then individuals are completely different that I would want to work with. So it's because I realized I went too broad.
I just have to jump in. That was an excellent point, Mirael. And I think that actually for many business owners that run their own marketing, dealing or focusing on many target audiences is actually getting them very confused. And I think that just starting with one thing, and yes, you can provide other services to everyone, but if you start by defining a message to a very specific target audience and start marketing it little by little, once you have that, you can little by little start doing some other audiences. So I think that that's an excellent point. If you start with something small and focused, you'll get way much more out of it.
The example. So, okay, so we're going to go around and we're going to answer some questions that are going to help us figure out our branding and marketing. And we're just going to, the questions that we're going to answer, we want to keep our answers short. There's about 12 of us here, I think. But we'll go around and answer them and we can get input from everybody. So the first question is, what makes you unique from other people in your industry? Who wants to begin? So you can state what you do, we know what you do, but what makes you unique? DeAnne, are you gonna go? I see.
I'll jump in again. Yes, I'm the assertive person, always assertive. So what makes us unique is the quality of our service, the quality of our yachts, and the fact that we will go over and above for our clients to make sure they have the perfect yacht that they want. A perfect example, my first client was Jamie Maniscalco, and she did her 30th birthday on a fabulous yacht. But the first 2 yachts that we had looked at, that she had looked at when she saw them in person, she didn't like. So I went with her each time to make sure that she found the absolute perfect yacht, and she had a magnificent birthday. So again, our one-on-one, our constant wanting to make sure that our customer is very happy with what they have is what I think distinguishes us, as well as the quality of our boats and the safety that we provide, and also additional services, caterers and, you know, water toys and all the other fun stuff that go with it.
Okay, so I would say that yours is safety and going above and beyond of taking care of your clients and on all of the amenities that you have that most people can't say that they have all 3, all of those 3 things. Okay.
Yes, especially in this industry. The yacht charter industry is a very, very hard industry because some people aren't fully insured. You know, it's very tourist driven. So you find often that a lot of the yacht charters don't really care that their visitor had a great time because there's another 10 tourists coming in. That's not so much true right now. So we're really standing out because of the quality that we give consistently. And we're not just, you know, like a cattle show, just, you know, one after the other, not caring about the customer's experience.
Amen, DeAnne. You know me coming from the charter industry, there are so many illegitimate charters out there that are reckless and dangerous. And it's so awesome to see what the Coast Guard is doing right now to protect people, especially our tourists, because they should not be using those illegitimate charters. They're awful. Sorry, I just had to chime in. That's my.
No, I appreciate the affirmation. Thank you, Morel.
And if you don't mind, I just want to jump in and say, just to explain to the group. So this is great. This is very concentrated message that you have. We're doing something very differently than other in the industry. Now, if you take that message, you can break it down to marketing. So you can take it to online, or you can take it, you know, to different aspects. But one of the things that you can use is actually create either an ad, photo, text, video, whatever, and actually start by many in the industry are not doing it properly or are putting in danger others. What we do that actually makes us stand out is, you know, we pay attention to the smallest details, and we're doing everything all while, you know, providing you with a one-to-one attention. And we know they understand that every person is different. So we know that you have your own need. So we'll meet with you one-on-one, and we'll tailor or, you know, craft something specifically for you, all while, you know, keeping safety as our first priority. Just an example.
No, I know that's a great example, because what I was going to say too, when Merrill got in, it was what you said, what both of you got excited about. I didn't know, right? I didn't know that tourists, that you know, that charter agencies do that. When you made that comment about they don't care about it because there's another tourist, I'm like, oh, I didn't think about that. And now that would make me want to go with you, you know, that whole, you know.
You really want that, and not something else. Yeah.
Okay, who wants to go next?
I'll go. Okay. Because I like what you just said about that. So I'm going to go back to my BNI thing, you know, talking about focusing. But when we were teaching people how to do elevator pitches, which could be your commercial, say it's on TV or on your website or whatever, we always talk about three components: educate, differentiate, and motivate. So the problem is most people get so stuck on the education part, talking about everything they do and us this and I'm that and us this. What you really want to focus on, everybody pretty knows what you do. I know what a charter agency is. I know what a coach is. I know what a realtor is. But what's different about me than everybody else? And that's where the focus should be. And then the one thing that most people forget to do at all is motivate people. Motivate them to pick up the phone. Motivate them to reach out to me. Give them something that's going to be, you know, I don't know, whatever it could be. But anyway, so I want to say I'll do my education and differentiation. There's 1,000 real estate companies out there, and what's the difference? So for me, first of all, I'm not going to talk about real estate. I got 2 agents on here. They sell real estate. I run a real estate company. My customers are real estate agents. So I am looking for agents that are interested in coaching, mentoring, and the best technology that we just spent $1 billion on in the world. There are no other companies that have this $1 billion technology, and that is what differentiates us. The other big thing that differentiates us is that we treat our agents like business owners. Everybody else is out there, they hire real estate agents to be realtors, treat them like employees. We treat our agents like entrepreneurs. We give them business acumen and teach them how to look at their strategies, how to look at their budgets, how to look at their return on investments. They don't even talk about that at other real estate companies. So that's what differentiates us. And I'm looking today to meet realtors that want to be treated that way.
And I have to affirm that about Morel as well. And I have run across a couple of unhappy realtors, and I immediately give them Morel's number.
And I love that. And I just have to add to what you said about the 3 main components, that when you're talking about an elevator pitch or in person, this is great. You're calling about motivating. When it comes to online, we're calling it call to action.
Exactly.
We're getting people to actually get excited and move to a different stage. There's what's called a consumer journey. So from the moment I understand that I have a need, I'm going to move step by step by the company that introduces me something. They're introducing the solution. And if I like that, I'll move to a next step and a next step, up to the point that I'll either pick up the phone, send them an email, fill out a request form, or whatever it is. So we're always trying to get the consumer or the prospect to take the action to connect so we can talk to them and finalize the sale. I love that.
Great point, Omer. George Anderson, you want to go? What makes you different?
Okay, can you hear me okay? Okay. Availability, competency, and consistency. I listened to my customers' pain points years ago, and I continue to listen to them. We go out to them with a survey, at least annually, to ask them, what are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? We go to our potential clients and ask them what their pain points are. And those pain points are availability, number 1. What I mean by that is, and this is how we are different. Companies like mine, they go in, they do the dog and pony show. We're gonna give you all of this and all of that as the leader of the organization. But then once the contract is signed, the leaders disappear. My phone is on 24 hours a day. But although I have a leadership team, an executive team that are decision makers, they're not just figureheads. Despite that fact, I am available. You can email me, you can call me, because I run a 24-hour business. So yes, there are times I cut my phone off, but not many. I am available. My team is available to handle emergency situations with my employees. Competency. They have told me, your staff have got to know who they're serving, the demographic, the audience, and even know them by name. My staff, they're petting dogs, they're feeding dogs and cats, they're greeting your moms and your uncles and sisters and brothers upon arrival to your home at these condos. So we need to be competent about who we are serving, the demographic in general, and specifically who are our residents. And so that's very important. And what are the processes for any particular building? And then consistency. Once you get to know my staff and they have worked your front desk and you fall in love with them, the customer does not like high turnover. They like to see some level of consistency. I will admit that in the Washington, D.C. area, while we are better than all of our competition at our turnover rate, it's still a pain point for us nonetheless. And the pain point for us is when I provided them with a great concierge, they've fallen in love with them. They've been there for 3 years, sometimes more, but I need to grow this concierge, and I can't grow them. They've reached their lid at that front desk. So maybe I want to move them out and make them a portfolio manager over a couple of properties. It still is yet a pain point. So we try to work with them to make sure that the transition is as seamless as we possibly can. So again, what makes me different: availability, competency, and consistency.
I love it. And I think that, you know, if you really want to boil it down, one of the main pain points would be that actually, you know, the industry, the great employees we provide have to grow. That's human's nature. But we understand that while others just provide you and that's it, we understand. And we actually, before we even start, we have it structured that when it's time, we're going to take care of you for years. So once you sign up with us, that's it, you're hooked. So little by little, as your business grows, as the people grow, we actually provide you with all the solutions. I think that for me, that would be a winning point.
Yeah. For us, it's very important. It can be an emotional process to detach from the Jane Does and John Does that have served some of our clients at their front desk, that know your children. They know you. They know how you move. They know that you're a morning person or not. And now I'm going to leave this front desk, and you, the client who is a resident, you've got to learn a whole new personality all over again. So in theory, it is a great thing. It is a feather in our cap that we are growing people, but sometimes it does yet become a pain point. But we work tirelessly to make it as seamless as possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, who wants to go next? George Acosta? Can we hear you?
How about now? Is it better?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good. Hi, everybody. I didn't do the intro earlier, but my name is George Acosta. I'm the CEO and partner of Adrio Insurance Group. We're a full-service insurance agency here in Brickell, serving the state of Florida, Texas, North Carolina, South Carolina, New York, New Jersey, and Virginia. So that's where we are footprinted on, and service our clients there. Okay, I don't want to go take the spotlight off of what makes us special by telling you what we do as an organization. But I think what truly sets us apart is, as an insurance agency, is that we're not really here to sell insurance. We're more of a company that finds solutions of an insurance product for the clients who need us. I personally have been in the business for over 25 years, licensed over 10 insurance licenses that I have. So when people come to me, the main thing that I do is listen. I barely promote a product. I don't push a product. I just listen. And based on that information, the gathering of that information is when I start making my recommendation. If you want an agency that has the lowest price in town, maybe I can get you the lowest price in town. But that's not what we do. We analyze old existing policies, find what's wrong with those policies, and make a very detailed analytical report and suggestions of what they should have. So our approach is completely different. We don't sell, we consult. Okay. As an agency, our service department is second to none. We have a 24-hour service. Our offices are open from 8 to 6, but it's 24 hours. So that means if you call our office, somebody will pick it up and answer your calls to specific questions. We have a claims department in-house where there is a claim in the middle of the night. You can call us and we'll send a team out there to resolve those claims and help with adjusters, with the insurance companies. As far as the carriers that we represent, We represent over 100 insurance carriers. That truly sets us apart from the rest of the competitors, whether it's in the homeowners, whether it's in the yachting industry, whether it's the motorcycles, whether it's business insurance, workers' compensation, general liability, health insurance, commercial health insurance, dental liability. So we have full spectrum of products that we offer. The companies that we represent are over 100. And the consultative approach instead of selling approach, I believe, is what's truly sets us apart.
You know, one thing you said, and we're going to move on, and because I'm seeing time, we still have 40 minutes left, but we have a couple other questions around. But one thing that you said that was really great that I loved was you don't sell, you consult. So when I heard, you know, when I hear insurance, I think they're going to sell it to me. And you just explained the whole process of how you consult. And it was great. That really stuck out to me when you said that. That's different, because I would want to, you know, it changes the whole demeanor when we think about insurance.
Yeah, you know, I'm trying to take the stigma away. It's taken a long time, the stigma away from the used car dealership mentality that insurance agents has. And unfortunately, like in any industry, you have the good and the bad. And, you know, I really don't like to sell insurance. I let the insurance sell itself by consulting.
Okay. So moving on. So who wants to go next? We're going to keep them a little bit shorter because our time is going quickly. So Joffrey, you want to go?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Great. So it sounds kind of cliche, but I guess it's already kind of been said what we do that makes us unique, which is funny. Everybody says that, but our company as well, it's, you know, we do take a consultative approach to sales. So basically when we sit down with a customer, we basically do a diagnostic, figure out, you know, what exactly they're looking for, what they can qualify for, and then get them the best available products. And we really try to focus on speed. That's the main thing that we're selling is speed, and also providing, you know, one-on-one service and focusing on the lifetime value of the customer for our business, rather than like a burn and churn approach with customers, which a lot of companies do. So, you know, for that reason, we like to see ourselves as unique in the marketplace. Obviously, the marketplace is pretty saturated, so we don't really try to focus on other businesses. We just try to focus on the customer and keeping them happy, and then hopefully getting them to repeat business.
So what I'm hearing from you is that you really take care, you know, of your client and are looking at the long term, and it's not a short term thing. You're looking at a long term relationship with your customers.
There's a lot of companies that don't really focus on that, that they, you know, try to deceive customers just to get them to sign contracts, and then the customer ends up unhappy, but it's already too late, and then they'll need to go find new customers because the customers never come back to them, which in the long term can be pretty expensive, because essentially when it comes to marketing, you always need to market and find new customers, whereas repeat customers, you know, the second transaction or third transaction, the you know, the cost to acquire that customer is pretty much nothing. You just send them an email or give them a call, and you can get repeat business.
Okay, great. Okay, Wendy, do you want to go and tell us what makes you different?
Sure. So it's funny. I was listening a lot to, you know, George and Joffrey, and my approach is very similar. It's consultative. I consider myself a real estate advisor or consultant more than a real estate salesperson or realtor. Let's face it, all realtors have access to the multiple listing service with the same information about what's available, and all of us have the ability to open a door and show a property. And all of us claim to give 5+ star service to all of our clients. What sets me apart is I'm a recovering attorney. I practiced law for over 20 years. And as a result of that, and now a full-time realtor, I have an unparalleled advantage in terms of negotiation and contracts. You know, showing property and getting under contract is one thing, and certainly there's a negotiation that takes place and parts of the contract that are important that I add value to. But beyond that, getting from contract to closing is key. Many deals don't close, and people are not aware of that. They think once they're under contract, they bought a property. That's far from the truth. And there are other times in the process, after inspections, for example, or after the appraisal, when negotiations are key. And Most realtors focus on the transaction. It's about getting the deal done. After all, that's when we get paid. But my approach is much more advocacy based as a result of being a lawyer. I can't take that lawyer hat off, unfortunately. And so I focus on my client. I also think about long-term relationships. I want to have you as a client for life. I want you to refer all of your friends and family. So if it's not right for you to buy a property, I'm going to tell you. If it's not the right time for you, I'm going to tell you. I'm not focused on today's commission. I'm focused on a lifetime relationship and giving you the best advice that I can to do what's best for you and not to leave even a penny on the table if I can avoid it.
Okay, that's amazing. Like one thing I heard that I don't hear about a lot is that you're a negotiator, which I'd want, in an agent, and I don't hear a lot of agents say that, so that negotiation piece is great. And then that you would tell me if it's not a good deal or not. So that makes me feel better. That would make me feel better too. Thank you.
Arathi, I wanted to share something a little bit different approach to your question. When Omer started, he said, the branding should address four questions: who we are, what we do, who we do it for, and why we do it. And I want to share with you the Chamber of Commerce's mission statement. And I want each of you to think about, maybe later, not necessarily during this session, but what is your mission statement? Do you have an actual mission statement for your organization? And does that mission statement address those four questions? We have a very simple mission statement, one sentence long, and I think it addresses the four of those points. I'm going to read it to you. The Miami Beach Chamber of Commerce was formed in 1921 to promote the economic well-being of Miami Beach's citizens, to improve the quality of life for the entire community, and to communicate the view of the business community on major issues of public policy. So it's who we are, who we're serving, how we're doing it, and what we're doing. We're communicating those policies to the entire community and trying to lift up the entire community, both the business and the residents. But interestingly, when we talk about the marketing of that, and Omer is great. We use Omer, many of you know, at our different events. We've used him to put together videos and does a fantastic job. But our best, I believe, our best marketing tool that we have is all of you. Our brand ambassadors are, in fact, our members. When you run council meetings and you invite people to come to council meetings, DeAnne has 80 people in a women's business council, and basically she is a great brand ambassador telling how the chamber benefits her. Or when Morel talks at real estate council about how the community benefits. So our brand ambassadors are our members, and they are our best marketing tools.
And Arathi was an amazing ambassador just recently. Her testimonial was
absolutely
incredible.
Thanks. Okay, so I think thank you for that, Jerry. You're right. Like, I think a mission statement is, every company should have a mission statement. I think I have a personal mission statement, but my company mission statement is similar, but it is, every company should have that. And that would help you get together what makes you different.
Yes, I think, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I think that this is pretty much what branding of a company is all about.
It's your mission.
Once you think about it and see what it is that you do, why you do it, how you do it, and what makes you different, that actually puts a mission statement together. So you can put either or. Yeah.
Okay. Mary, you want to go? Oh, you're muted.
Okay. I work for the Miami Beach Chamber of Commerce, and basically I do grant development and hopefully the operation of the visitor center. We're moving and we plan to reopen in January. And what my thing is, I love to put people together. I like to work with people. I like to get them involved and then have them, recommend or suggest other people who can work with us on projects. I'm a project oriented type of person. Get the information and get it done. So that's my strength. I think I shine in that area, and putting new concepts and projects together and starting them and getting them finished.
Great, great. Thank you. So you're a connector.
Yes.
Connect. You're a connector. Great.
Totally.
Thank you. Omer, what makes you different?
Oh, wow. So I think that I'm just going to put it in a very simple way. So today, the technology allows many, many people to pick up a camera and become a video production company or a videographer or whatever. What we do is very, very different. First of all, my background, I'm coming from the film and television industry. So I've been a producer on, all over the world, actually, not all over, but in some places around the world. And I worked on some national television shows here in the States, like Hell's Kitchen with Gordon Ramsay and Dog the Bounty Hunter, the crazy hair guy. So I know how to create content that is very engaging to begin with. But our process is very, very different. So we're not just picking up a camera and going out and filming whatever is coming out from a person's mouth. We're actually scripting everything and conceptualizing everything. So we start with a very long questionnaire, so we understand who the client is, what they do, why they do it, and what they do differently. And then we're creating the concept for the script or the video. And by that, we're actually really hitting it every time with every client, because the message that we deliver in a video is very, very unique and very put together. And I think that that's the main differentiation point that we have compared to other businesses in our industry.
So for me, I would say the one thing that makes me different is I'm able to, my background in being an executive and being an entrepreneur for a long time, I'm able to have that background and bring it into my clients that are executives and entrepreneurs. But what makes me different, and that's part of what makes me different, but the main thing that makes me different is that I get results. Like most people, I think, oh, life coaching, oh, that just makes me feel better. No, I'm not. Yes, you're going to feel better. You're going to stress less and be more productive. But we set goals in our, in the beginning of a coaching program that I have with a client to make and to ensure that they're moving forward, whether it's in their careers or in their businesses, and we work towards those goals. Now, how every strategy that an entrepreneur comes to me with their business, you can make it better. And that's how, if they have a strategy with their employees, if they have a marketing strategy, if they have a production issue, if they're a manufacturer, I look at it as they come to me with their strategies and goals, and we will make them better by, one, we're going to look at the touchy-feely emotions, but my superpower is that, one, I'm able to show logically how your emotions affect your decision-making, so you can make better decisions on these strategies. And then we're going to also figure out, because you have so many things going on, you can't really focus. This is a time to focus on what you're working on, what your goals are, and we're gonna make them better because you don't have the clarity when you have so many things going on in your life. So the results I get are, as I had a person who was in a career transition, just during COVID found a job where they were making 40% more in salary. I have another client who is an entrepreneur who tripled their rates because they were lower and making more in revenue. I have an entrepreneur that owns a bunch of manufacturing companies, is a vendor to SpaceX, and during COVID thought that everything would shut down. Their quarterly financials, this quarter were higher than they projected before COVID at the beginning of the year. So when I work with entrepreneurs, we have a business plan in the beginning of the year and we set goals. So that's what makes me different, because people come to me like, oh, you're about work-life balance. No, we're about getting you to able to stress less, to get clarity, to create better strategies in your life and in your business. The side effect is every single one of their partners have emailed me and said, this has helped them so much, because the way you're thinking and the stress that you have, and we're working on stress reduction to, get clarity on what you want, will roll over into your life, your personal life. I got an email from a wife the other day telling me, your coaching is helping so much. Their whole family has changed. So that's the way I'm different. It's not just fluff, but I take the fluff and show you how logical it can, what you need to do with that, with the positive thoughts and all those type of things, to actually create better strategies within your teams and within your businesses. So that's what makes me different. Okay, so we have about 25 minutes left, and we're going to go on to another question. So right now, we want to know, how are you guys bringing out your brand message? How are you marketing? What are the main ways, and what do you want to do different? So we're going to have to keep it a little bit, we only have 25 minutes, so let's try to keep our answers short. But what are you doing, and what do you want to do different? DeAnne, are you talking? Oh, shoot, okay. I thought she was speaking. So who wants to go with that? Who wants to go?
Maybe we should just define the question just a little better, so it's going to be easier for everybody. So when we're talking about marketing, what is it that you do today in order to be visible in front of your audiences, your target audiences?
Perfect. Thank you, Omer. Who wants to go? DeAnne? Oh, I didn't know if you were talking before, so DeAnne, go.
Yeah, actually, I was talking to the managing partner of the charter agency, and I was telling him about this call. So one of the things that we do, we have a very robust marketing company based in California. But the funny thing was, their social media was very poor when I came on board, and I pushed and pushed them, and I said, listen, we have to be, more robust on social media. They didn't even have a LinkedIn, Facebook page, which, by the way, Wendy Rosen, I reached out to you on LinkedIn, so accept me. But I'm a big believer in social media, being able to target people, because that's where the platforms that people are on right now. So we're working on having a better presence there, and also focusing on organizations like the Chamber, like the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association, where we can target hoteliers, which is a tough market right now. But if we don't play, we can't win. So I'm focusing on, targeting the hotels, targeting the corporations, so that we can get partnerships going, because it's an additional revenue stream as well. We do pay commissions to our partners. So we're focusing more on social media, but they have very colorful campaigns that shows celebrities, the people having fun on the yachts, and showing people that, there is life after COVID, that we can still have some fun and we can still enjoy ourselves.
Okay, great.
Did we lose Omer?
Yeah, I think we did. He'll probably be jumping back on. He didn't say that he was going, so there might be some technical issue. Okay, Morel, how are you marketing these days? How are you getting your message out there in front of people?
Well, so funny you asked that, because I'm double tasking right here. For our first time out there, Keller Williams is actually going to spend some money on doing some marketing. We've never done that. Again, we pay our agents more money and help them develop things, because we build their brand. Keller Williams is not into building our brand. We don't believe anybody wakes up in the morning and says, I think I'm going to buy a house today. Should I go to Coldwell Banker or Keller Williams? Neither one of them have a product to sell. You know what I mean? You wake up in the morning and be like, I'm going to sell my house today. I'm going to call someone I know, like, and trust, But again, this isn't to promote Keller Williams. What they're getting ready to help us do is help me recruit top agents to come over. So I'm supposed to put my top 200 people that I would love to come work here together, and I have to have it done by 5 o'clock today. So I'm sitting here scrolling through 50,000 real estate agents' names while I'm also on this call. But so that's a new way of branding that we're going for. But each of our agents chooses their own way. So that's, unique with them. We just try to help them figure out what their message is and what their brand is. So Keller Williams itself doesn't do it. Me personally, I'm trying to get better with telling our story, telling our success stories of our agents, and being better at telling our story, because unfortunately too many other brokerages try to tell our story for us, and that's not always in the best light.
Yeah. I think that is key, like testimonials, like I'm getting all of my testimonials and putting it out there because it definitely, oh, here's Omer. Okay, so Wendy, are you there? So how are you marketing these days?
Not as well as I should, which is one of the reasons I'm on this call. I need to get more focused about my marketing. My business is built strictly by referral, past clients and stuff. So testimonials are a big thing for me. And I'm trying to get much more purposeful about requesting testimonials and evaluations after, deals close and posting them where I need to or should on social media. DeAnne pointed out for me glaringly that I'm not on LinkedIn as much as I should be, and I'm going to accept your invitation, and I'm going to try to get better at my LinkedIn. I focus mostly on Facebook and direct email and phone calling with people, but I need to expand my marketing, I believe, on social media and get better at that.
And, there are a lot of different marketing techniques, like, social media, yes, is one way, and being on LinkedIn, because that's where your people are, right? That you want to, that are going to be able to afford the houses that, that you're working with. It's definitely helped me, but, there's other ways too, like doing these webinars, things like that in your industry, or for people that would want to, taking a topic and talking about, I think there's so many people right now that just came to mind that want to buy a place right now because they think, prices are going down, or they want to sell or something. And what would that, even just an informational, webinar for people to come, and a free one, and then they learn about you, and you give them information, and then you're, creating, those are people that directly want to know about that. So you already have gotten your target audience there.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, Joffrey, how are you getting out your message?
Additionally, what we've been doing, which has worked, is honestly just calling business owners. If you can, if we can just get somebody on the phone and begin the sale like that, it kind of cuts through a lot of the process. So that's pretty effective. Just getting on the phone with people, doing a brief consultative call, and kind of putting them in the sales pipeline like that. In terms of getting inbound customers, we've done direct mail, which is effective, but it's expensive and kills a lot of trees, but unfortunately it does work. Also, one thing that I've tried to focus on during COVID is just building more content on our website, and hopefully to get some SEO stuff to organically feed back to us, but also incorporating that into our email marketing campaigns. So instead of it just being like an advertisement for us, we try to add value to the customer. So we create something that can help them in terms of content, and then just sending that to them, hopefully to get them to click through, and then apply on the website. So it's a few different, honestly, we just try out different things. There's lots of stuff. We've done like social media before, but I kind of lost my patience with it. It just, it didn't really seem like the, the cost really benefited us in terms of, how much we were paying, per acquisition versus just like getting people on the phone. I'm not sure. I mean, I did it through an agency. I'm not sure if it was like the agency or what. Google's also pretty expensive in terms of customer acquisition, to be honest with you. So like it's funny because people say like, oh, it's real cheap to do online marketing, but for our experience, it's actually been one of the more expensive ways to get customers, just because it is so saturated, I feel like. And we're a pretty small company, and obviously you're going to have to compete with much larger companies when you're competing for AdWords or you're competing on Facebook. And I feel like we also kind of lose the, the one-on-one interaction, which benefits us a lot.
So you're finding that the one-on-one calling is working better than the social marketing worked for you. And you just said you don't know if it's the agency, but the one-on-one, you like that one-on-one touch with the calls.
Yeah. The end goal a lot of the time is just to get the person on the phone. So if you can just call them and get them on the phone to begin with, they'll save a lot of time and money.
Okay.
At least for us. And then mailers do work. So the one thing that's weird about mailers is that sometimes there'll be like a large delay. So we'll send out a mailing campaign and most people call within the first few days of receiving it. But then we'll have people that call us like 3-4 months later.
Because they don't check their mail. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Or
some
they-
people check their mail. Yeah, but
or
you
they
have
just-
people who check it later. Yep.
And they just like put it off until they need it, which is funny. But I actually wanted to ask one question to Omer about, I didn't ask it before, so I apologize for that. But in terms of testing, like, what do you think is like a good way to kind of develop a system for testing out new marketing approaches, for example, like Facebook or something like that, in terms of like allocating a budget for it or a time or how many leads? Obviously, each business is going to be different. But what's your kind of blanket approach to it?
I would say that marketing, especially and I can get why you got so frustrated with social media, because it's a whole entity. It's a whole job. It's a whole, thing. So it's very difficult for us as business owners to really, divide our attention and really do the work as it should be done when it comes to marketing. There's some things that you can test out. So you have, today you have data on everything. So if you go on Facebook or Instagram, for example, or even LinkedIn, and you start monetizing what it is that you do, and you define a target audience. On Facebook, it's very, very easy. You can really see how many people responded, how many people opened it. If it's email marketing as well, you can get all the information that can help you understand whether it was something that people respond to or not. If it comes to, really creating marketing strategy and executing it, I think that it should be something very consistent. So consistency would be key for anything. And then you need to maybe have someone within your company that can really, test things out. So it means that you take this one ad and you either adjust the text on it or change the image on it, or if it's a video, and just starting to kind of see, you have beta, so you can do 3 or 4 different postings of pretty much the same message, but in a different way, and you can see what people are responding to. I'm going to give you a very short example. So I started my own YouTube channel recently, ever since COVID, and now I'm teaching business owners how to create their own content, their own video content by themselves. So how to film on their cell phone and how to, edit on their cell phone and all that kind of stuff. And what I see, and I test it very carefully just by myself, is I post a thumbnail so people respond to, visual materials. So I see, I take it for a whole week and I see how people are responding to this one thumbnail that I created with some titles. And then I take it and I change it. So it's exactly the same content, it's just a different thumbnail that may be written a little differently. And I can see what are the impressions, so how many times YouTube actually shows it, and what is the response to the thumbnail. So how many percents of the people who see the impression are actually clicking through to see it. And that's very interesting. So it doesn't cost me anything, and I can actually monetize it and see what's working for me. And by that, after 3 or 4 times, I'm getting some of my videos to within a month to generate. One of them actually generated 30,000 views in 1 month.
Wow.
So I was able to kind of tweak it and see, and it can go all the way to, search engine optimization keywords and some other things. But if we're trying to keep it at a very simple level, I would just say test things out when it comes to the visual aspect of it. So what it looks like, what the caption is, and just have 2, 3, or 4 different versions, and you'll be able to see what people are responding to. I hope that was.
No, that was a great, and one thing I like is that what people don't realize that when it comes to social media marketing, it's consistency. That's what I'm getting to the point right now, and I'm building a team to create content, but consistent, like I have so much content. I know what I need to do. I know what I want to put out there, but I'm so busy with my clients and things. But even the, the key to that marketing is, so, online marketing is consistency, doing it on a consistent basis, because people will forget. One thing I just wanted to bring up that I'm doing that's different, that might people, Jeffrey's off, but people that are trying to meet like stakeholders of large companies or mid-sized companies or C-suite or something like that. What I'm in the process of doing is going through my whole network, and also of all the stakeholders that are very high executives, and then also pinpointing the people, maybe like 100 people, I don't know, maybe 50 people, the people that I want to meet, the people that I would like to work with. And I'm going to invite them and interview them and do an insights paper. So on a topic, maybe it's about how you're, dealing with remote employee work. And I might have a couple of questions to these CEOs or, somebody in the C-suite. I'll send them, a message, it's just crafted a certain way, saying, I want to interview. Everybody loves to be interviewed. So then what I'm going to do is, with whoever responds and wants to, I will get all those answers. So I've already created a connection with them by meeting them. Now I don't have to figure out how to meet them. Once I interview them, now they know me and we're talking and they're getting to know me. And then I'm going to take all that information I get and put it in insights paper. So I have another touch with them. Here's all the, information that I got from all my interviews, and send it. So now I've created a relationship with all the people that I really wanted to meet, that I don't have a way to get introduced right now, that I might not know, saying, hey, I just want to talk to you. But I say, hey, I would like to meet you and interview you. That's another way to get them in. So that's something that I'm working on, to get to those people that are like in the C-suite at certain companies.
I would like to add just one more thing, and that's in regards to what Mirel said before, and that would be starting with smaller things. So again, we can get very overwhelmed with different social media platforms and a lot of things. So I would identify one platform. So if for you, Jeffrey, it's going to be LinkedIn because you're looking for business owners, I would just start there and start testing out what works there, instead of trying to get on Facebook as well, and the Facebook business account, and then Instagram as well, and maybe some other things. I would just start with one, start testing things out, see how they work, 2, 3 posts a week. If that's working and you see that you get good response, you can actually take it and duplicate it and maybe adjust it a little bit. And now you can start posting almost the same post on Facebook, Instagram, and different things.
I think that's a great point. And actually, now that I'm thinking, I should do that. Like, just focus, you're saying just really just focus on one platform, see what works for you, and then just obviously duplicate it. Because I've been duplicating on all platforms, but I'm like, you know what, maybe I should just really focus on LinkedIn right now and really get that going, then let it feed out later on into the other platforms. That's a good point. Thank you.
We talk about that a lot here because our agents, they learn so many different ways to lead generate, so many different ways. So they'll try something, for a little bit. Oh, that didn't work. So then they go try something else. They go try something else. And it's the same thing with the chamber or BNI and anything else. How many times have we brought people into the chamber? They go to 1 or 2 things. They're like, oh, that didn't work. I'm like, no, my first referral from the chamber came after like 2 years, you don't join something or do something 1 or 2 times. It's consistency over and over and over. And it's not going to happen overnight. People just have to be patient, but trying all these different things and just throwing up and see what sticks. That's not a strategy.
Well, I think one of the things too is that people aren't focusing on creating relationships. They just want to, slam dam, thank you, ma'am. And, but when you're creating relationships, if you're focusing on that, the business comes from that. But those relationships have to be your priority. What am I doing that's creating a quality relationship with somebody? And it may not be an end user. It may be somebody that could never be your client, but they will certainly appreciate referring business to you, have a relationship with you.
Yeah.
And I want to add to that, and just, you're talking about mainly relationships in person. so people can vouch for you and, you know, do the word to mouth. But when we're talking online, if we can actually take that and document it, so it can be written reviews, or it can be testimonial videos, or it can be all these kind of things. And just one testimonial video, if you have 5 or 6 of them and you post them, you're actually creating content on an ongoing basis. So you don't have to condense it all into one video, but you can have 1 minute testimonial video that someone is doing about you or your business. That's going to be something that can generate you great leads. So that's another way of marketing. The more, the better.
Joffrey, I know you're back. I think you fell off. And I know one thing that, to your question, Omer was saying was that to concentrate on one platform first and just, and then go, you know, onto other ones. And then there's a lot of other good stuff that he said. And I just wanted, because we're about to end, I know that, Omer, there was a question, you're gonna be putting this video somewhere so people can come back and learn from that.
Yeah, what I would love to do, first of all, I want to add that every first Friday of the month, I'm actually teaching, it's a free workshop for the chamber where I'm teaching, it's a workshop, so I'm teaching how to do different things and how to create videos by yourself. So it's this coming month, it's going to be on the 6th. And then I'm posting everything on, so I have a YouTube channel. You're more than welcome to, we'll share the information later on. First of all, feel free, please, to subscribe so you can get up to date on all the new videos and everything else. But we will post this recording if you ever want to go back to it. And I would love to start a conversation. You know, if you have any questions, I would love to answer. It can be in an email, it can be on the video comment section. So you can ask, I can answer, anyone else can answer. You can share, you know, your experiences, what works, what doesn't work. We can fine tune it and create a mini community that we can help each other. So I will post this and we will share via email to everybody who participated. So it will live there forever.
Okay, great. And I encourage you to go to his thing because to his workshops, because it doesn't matter any type of business you have to have video. So I need to get on that. And I mean, really any business, it needs video. Mary, you know, we were talking about, I didn't get to you, we started veering off, but how are you getting out your message these days?
With the help of course, Jerry and Enid, we've been working on making some changes to the visitor center. I think it should be more interactive, more promoting what is Miami, what's made in Miami, what does Miami stand for, the history of the visitor center, and make it more interactive experiences for people coming into the center. And we've talked about hosting our own events there once or twice a month, getting artists involved, getting chefs involved, perhaps even creating some tours of our own. And just make it more fun and playful. And, you know, yes, they want to buy a tour, they want to get a brochure, whatever, but like really engage them into what this amazing city is about.
Okay, great.
Yeah, excited about it.
Thank you. Okay, so it looks like we are about right at 11:30. Anybody have any other questions before we end?
I just want to ask DeAnne. DeAnne, you said, is that Kent that's there with you?
No, it's my little granddaughter. She's in homeschool and asking me to print something for her.
Oh, I thought you said charter agency.
Oh, the charter agency. Yes, yes. And that's Kent. Correct.
Supposed to have dinner with him tonight.
Are you?
Mike and I are. It's funny.
Okay, great.
Oh, great. Well, I have to call him right after this meeting because he called me in the middle of this. I can't talk to you now.
One thing, everybody, you can download the chats with everybody's information. If you just open up the chat and you see those little 3 lines and it says save chat and it will save onto your computer. So you have everybody's information. And thank you so much, Omer, for coming today and sharing all of your knowledge. You really helped us out. I see really great comments in the chat. And thank you so much. And I will be coming to your new workshops coming up.
And
And
edit on your phone. That sounds fun.
yeah.
Omer, toda rabah.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Take care.
Arathi.
Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.
Happy Halloween.
Bye.
Happy Halloween. Yeah.
Trick or treat.
Bye.